And if you're listening on this channel, this is the worldwide English language broadcast of the final round of the European Open 2015. I am Jamie Thomas, and alongside me in the booth, my very good friend and a very talented player, Mr. Avery Jenkins, is here as well.
Beautiful day for some disc golf. You know, a Finnish summer is well on its way, and a lot of spectators out there to watch the action.
We're going to take you through the women's league card, and also we have some men's action that will follow shortly thereafter. And we are here at Nokia Sports Park in Nokia, Finland. You can see a huge
Oikein hyvää iltapäivää, hyvät TV-katsojat, ja tervetuloa Frisbeegolfin European Openiin. Maailman huiput ovat jälleen kokoontuneet Nokian keskusurheilupuistoon. Turnaus pelataan jo 6. kertaa ja tulossa on oikein jännittävä finaalikierros. Asiantuntija Tommi Vesala, miltä kilpailu on näyttänyt tähän finaalipäivään mennessä ja mitä odotat finaalikierrokselta?
59, 5 down, finally got in the 50s, had to hit a really nice, sizable birdie putt on 18 to do it, and I feel good about my finish. I wish I would have started a little stronger, opening 2 rounds at least. But all in all, it's a very competitive, very strong field, and the guys out there are attacking this course right now and shooting back-to-back course records. KJ one day, Macbeth the next day. You know, I'm just trying to put together, and had a blast as always. UC Maresma and the Dismini and the crew put on a fabulous event, and just glad to be part of it.
Sitting in the top 20, so it's absolutely a solid finish for you. And really, you said it. It's been
Katrina Allen, you're in the lead before the final round. What are you expecting from the final?
Let's check in with Katrina here.
Stick to my game plan and just play the best I can. I think that's worked so far, so stick to that.
What is your strategy in the rain in the afternoon?
In the rain, I like to more maintain than push. I see a lot of people making mistakes trying to go for the birdie or the big shot with the slippery conditions. So just take a little extra time and make sure that I have a good footing and commit to my shots.
And you could see how Katrina got here. So far, 3 birdies, 5 bogeys, a double bogey today. She is solid in control of this tournament at this point. In fact, all the women on the top 4 card have a very big separation. There's 8 strokes between her and Sarah Hokum, 9 strokes between Sarah and Val, and then another 7 strokes between Val and Paige. So this is really a showcase. It's really nice when you get to kind of walk this tournament in, but we're going to get to showcase these women who are very, very talented and get to see them kind of finish up this tournament on this really treacherous hole 18.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite hole in the course. Coming down the stretch, there's some very difficult holes, 15, 16, 17, and then 18 is just the capper. This is the really hard par 4, playing up to a layup area. That's about 375 off the tee, and then playing up the hill to a very tight, small green on an elevated basket. It's got everything you're looking for. Scoreboard to the right, crowd to the left, keep it in bounds, play it safe, try to get birdie if you can.
Sarah Hokum will be first one on the tee from Team Legacy, and you can see her round scores posted right there. Primarily sidearm player. We have seen her throw a couple backhands this tournament.
Just looking to keep it in bounds on this shot.
Big follow through.
That's green flag.
Nice and in. It's very easy to tell where the fairway is and where the rough is on this course. They did a great job mowing it, just making it look so pristine out there, and that's got to be fun to play on.
Absolutely. This is what professional disc golf is all about.
And Katrina Allen, the leader, teeing off second, 7 over par. She came in on Friday with an absolutely monstrous 5 down at the Beast. Big backhand drive, a lot of power.
That's the round that separated her from the rest of the pack. That 5 under second round was the big separator. Everything else has been really close between the women. First round, third round, fourth round, but that second round is where she really made the move, separated, distances herself, and going to walk in this victory.
And somebody you know very well.
There's my sister Avery Jenkins, 3-time world champion, currently in 3rd place, teeing off on 18, just looking to keep it safe. Down the right side, skip to the middle, keep it in that short grass, girl.
And the short grass, it is wet, so the short grass won't give quite as much of a skip. 3 safe drives so far. And here's the Cannon Paige Pierce.
Yeah, she's by far the farthest throwing woman on tour. But when she gets a hold of one, she can unleash on a drive.
It's really fun to watch her throw. I said the other night on the Insider Show that girls like her and Katrina make throw like a girl seem like a compliment.
Sure.
She does find some out of bounds there, so she will have to take a mark. It's a tricky out of bounds on this. It cuts into the left and narrows the fairway down right where your disc wants to land if you're trying to do that placement shot.
Yeah, where she's going to have to actually take this back to where she was last in bounds, and if she's going to try to go for the shot up the hill, it's a sizable throw. It might be around 375, 400 mark where she's going to have to take this back in bounds. Big shot for anybody. Big shot for her. I think she's going to try to get it up back there in bounds. She has nothing to lose at this point.
You see walking up the fairway, Don Smith from Santa Cruz walking up with Sarah Hokum.
They got the Cali connection.
Team Cali connection. You also saw Paige Pierce sporting that logo. And you can note there, sitting in fifth, Evelina Salonen. Very powerful Finnish player. I believe she's 15 years old.
That's correct.
And a prediction that many people think she's going to be the next big European champion on the women's side and hope to challenge some of these American ladies in the near future.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to actually play around with her at her home course 2 years ago. Me and Jussi were kind of coming through town. Jussi Maris, when I'm talking about the CEO of Discmania and Innova Europe. And we happened to stop by her home course and play around. She jumped on in our group and had an awesome time. She's a phenomenal player for her age.
Sarah lining up her second shot. Good.
Playing it safe, nice forehand shot. Not what I thought. Sawed it off inside, right side. She's got a lot of strokes between her and third, so I don't think it's a big deal. But, man, throwing out a B on this, you really want to finish strong on this hole.
It's a tough course, lots of ropes, lots of accuracy demanded, and sometimes you just want to get that round done and kind of move on to the next thing, and hole 18 does not let up. She will have to take her mark, and Paige Pierce will be next to tee.
She's eyeing up that inbound side way long up the fairway right now. She's eyeing it up.
And that's a big whip. The cameraman's right there to see. That's a big shot if she can stay.
A little strong out the back side, left side. It should be a sizable approach to the green. A little aggressive for her on the last hole. She's really trying to make a move on third. She knows she has a bunch of strokes on, on fifth. So really kind of letting it all go out the last hole.
All right, let's see. Valerie Jenkins. Valerie Doss off the course. Valerie Jenkins on the course. She does keep the Jenkins name, keep the world titles in the Jenkins family. But between the Jenkins-Doss clan, there's quite a few disc golf accolades.
Yeah, the trophy case and the shelves are getting quite full. I would say Val's homed most of those back at the household. But, yeah, she has a lot of top finishes, a lot of wins, a lot of major wins, and she just keeps on playing a solid, steady golf game throughout her entire career.
She's always able to hang with these other girls, even as her competitors get to throw in further.
That's a nice big shot across the OB, back inbounds, center cut. Exactly what you're looking for to par this hole.
Showing them exactly how to play this hole. Can't do it too much better than that. And here's Sarah Hokum. And she'll be throwing 4.
Always smiling. Look at Val. Always having a good time with it. Looks like for another forehand shot.
The wind's picking up just a little bit. Gets a good hold of that one. You can see it got a little flatter.
Short grass right down the middle.
Well placed. You can see she made the correction from the last shot where she didn't quite get it flat, kept it on too much hyzer, and that was very well played. And Katrina Allen, the leader.
That's a sweet spot off the tee. That's kind of where we want to be. Back down the hill a little bit. There'll be a hyzer around this pine tree. As you can see the scoreboard in the distance, you're trying to throw it up the hill. It's about a 350, 360 shot from here. Big shot if you're going to go for it.
To a very narrow green. We always talk about controlling the speed, and that one got over on her. She's going to need a miracle to get back in bounds there. That's not what she wanted to do.
Wow, the women are just playing very aggressive on this final hole, and they can just really just walk this in. But I think they're trying to put on a show for the gallery out here. Spectators came out in droves today.
I was about to say, speaking of the gallery, is there any tournament that you've ever played in that really brings this kind of crowd to the sport?
on a yearly basis, on a biannually, the European Open advertises, promotes, and supports a spectator-friendly event, and they always put on a great show with the players, the professionalism, and spectators want to come out and see that.
Oh, she gets a skip, and it looks like it skips under the barrier, and she will get the mark up by the pin there. She should get the mark up by the pin. It looked like it crossed over the corner, so that should set up her winning putt.
Rushing these shots, she's just really trying to get this over with. It's unfortunate she's really kind of rushing her tempo, not just kind of laying up down the middle, but really forcing these shots into the lines and the OBs.
Hole 18 has given the ladies some trouble this week. We've had 6s, 9s, and pretty much everything in between, even down to some birdies. Katrina, during her 5-down record-setting round, she birdied the final hole after taking a 6 on it on the first one.
Yes, it can be 3s. It's a spectacular hole, but it'll giveth and taketh away very fast. As tight as the sidelines are with the OB left and right, and this green is absolutely a postage stamp of a size on an elevated basket, it just complicates things.
Valerie's lining up her upshot, still hunting for a par. You can see all the flags from the different nationalities in the background. A lot of different countries represented here this week.
That's how you want to finish. Put up there nice and easy for a nice tap-in putt.
Textbook. Absolutely textbook. Well done. And that should net her a par and a solid finish to the second major in just about as many weeks. And that's a very big order, a very tall order for you to go Scandinavian Open to European Open to Worlds in a couple weeks. I mean, that's a tiring touring schedule. Have you seen that kind of take effect on some people?
It's taken effect on me quite a bit lately. Even just playing the 3 rounds previous to today, I was sore. I was feeling it. They're not very, it's not totally a grueling course at a par 64, but it's got some length and you're doing a lot of walking. But just prepping for this, getting ready for this, I could use a couple days off, maybe a massage or 2.
Paige Pierce nailed a putt from about this distance the other day. Let's see if she can repeat that magic to finish off her tournament. Big run, maybe a little bit of slippage. It's still a little bit wet out there. The rain is kind of coming down off and on all afternoon, but she will tap in from there.
Yeah, this is an exciting time in the disc golf season. You're talking about 3 majors in 4 weeks. The month of July is just packed with major big events, championship events, and world titles and championship titles on the line. And doing the smart thing.
Katrina will lay up there and take her ceremonial last putt to take her second major in a row. Of course, Valerie being the other major winner from this year in Australia.
Beautiful finish. That's a par.
Good extension on the putt, as routine, just like you practice it.
There's Sarah with the easy tap in. And solo second place.
Finishing in second. Paige had a little bit of a tougher week than she was hoping to have, but still a solid 4th place finish, and she'll look to improve.
Very respectable. Very respectable. I wonder if she lacked anything by not playing last weekend up in Sweden, but respectable finish coming in 4th place here.
Katrina Allen is in rare form, taking those 2 in a row, and there she is. That is your ladies winner, Katrina Allen, and I believe that she will shoot a 5-over for the round and put her at 8-over for the tournament, if that is a bogey. And very solid in first place. A lot of respect shown between these competitors, both on the women and the men's side. They see each other at every single tournament. They have to go and battle it week in and week out. So you really get to know the people you're playing with, and smiles all around. You compete during the tournament, but when it's all said and done, hugs, smiles, and let's do it again next week.
It's a disc golf family, a community of all disc golfers that love to watch disc fly, and we're all supportive of each other. So it's great to see, the competitive play and the competitors just reaching another level.
And that's so Katrina will end up 10 over par, 7 strokes over Sarah Hokum, 7 strokes over Valerie Jenkins, and Val will take 9 over Paige. Sarah and Katrina will tie and both shoot a 71 today. It is a par 64 course.
Americans claim the top 4 spots, as we could, really predict here. The women are such a strong gathering here, and the women from the U.S. are just highly tuned for this kind of competitive play.
Don't sleep on those 2 Finns that you saw in 5th and 6th place, though. They're both very young, 15 years old, have a lot of talent and a lot of drive. They're going to be names to watch in the future of the ladies' game. We're really looking forward to more competitive President's Cups, more of the European players coming over to the U.S. and competing, and hopefully even bringing more Americans over to this side in the future. And
congratulations, Katrina Allen.
Let's check in with Katrina.
A few questions for you. Congratulations. You started off with a comfortable lead, but was it comfortable out there on the course today?
Not for a while. I think until I got... actually, I think I wasn't comfortable until I made the island on 16, and then I kind of relaxed. So...
And then you knew. Talk us through the rest of the round. Any highlights or any something bad that happened there?
No, I thought for the weather and the rain and the wind that I was playing pretty consistent. I missed 1 short putt to continue on my par streak. And then I had a great par save on 14, made like a 12 or 13 meter putt, and that was the highlight for me. So other than that, no.
You started playing majors only a few years ago, and now you've won a number of them already. What has taken you so quickly to the top of the game?
Lots of practice, and my husband helps me a lot. He's one of the top players, and he's very good at teaching, and so we work together, and I think that just lots of practice.
Good luck, and congratulations once more.
Thanks. Good to see you.
And that is Katrina Allen, your women's winner. Now it is officially in the books, and you can see a large gallery is awaiting the men's card. We do have some men's action coming up for you. And just a little quick check at the scores. If you're paying attention to the live scoring on opendiscgolf.com, you can click over to the leaderboard. Scorin has really provided a great service. You can break the rounds down by player, by round, and just everything you can think of. They've got a really nice visual layout for everything. And as we're looking at it now, Paul Macbeth is holding on to a 1-stroke lead, and he has a lower back problem that's really been affecting him in these last couple of days.
Yeah, it was unfortunate just due to the weather, the conditions, the muddy, slippery fairways in some spots of the course. I believe he tweaked it at one of the second shots approaching a green, just tried to overpower something, and maybe that front foot slipped, gave way, and kind of wrenched his back a little bit. He's a true champion. He's battling through it. I see a little bit of slipping as far as the players through their scores. He's still got a 1-stroke lead going in the last 5 holes.
And just behind him is Ricky Wasaki, his nemesis the last couple of years, somebody who, if you let him hang around in a tournament, he will come back to haunt you. And he is really hunting. He hit 4 birdies in a row between holes 4 and 7, took a bogey, and then turned and got a turkey right back. So Ricky is in the hunt, and then Jeremy Colling from the chase card. If you guys remember back to 2013, he did make the lead card going into the final round, and he has climbed the ladder from the chase card to sit only 3 back of Paul. He's at an 8 down right now with only 1 bogey. Hole 8, both he and Will Schustrick, as well as Ricky, bogeyed the very treacherous hole 8 today. It should be a very exciting finish. The rest of the lead card, Will Schustrick sitting 1 back of Jeremy Colling at 25 under par. And 1 back from him
Sitten lähdetään seuraamaan, miten miehet tähän finaalipäivään ovat tiensä selvittäneet, ja nimenomaan se finaalinelikko tässä kuvissa. Tanskalainen Kari Nybo, joka lähtee finaalipäivään sieltä 4. Aloitti kisan vähän vaatimattomasti, mutta päivä 2 oli erinomainen. Sivusi rataennätystä 52 heittoa. Nosti hetkellisesti itsensä kakkoseksi, mutta eilen muiden kärkiheittäjien tapaan oli vähän vaikeuksia. Ja nyt tähän finaalipäivään sitten sieltä 4 moninkertainen Tanskan mestari viime vuonna.
A 2 down so far through this round for a total of 24. Right behind him, Will Schustrick out of Tennessee. He is always competitive on courses like this where accuracy is required. When they shape those out-of-bounds ropes, he shot a 10 down the first day to climb into 2nd place, 5 down on Friday, and 8 down on Saturday. And he is also at 2 down, sitting 1 ahead of KJ.
Euroopan Openissa tällä Nokialla ollut 3. ja 4, joten samoja sijoja havittelee myös nyt sitten tämän vuoden kilpailussa.
Managed to avoid a whole lot of bogeys.
Skandinavian Openissakin viime viikolla oli 2. Tosin jäi Paul McBethistä 11 heittoa, mutta nyt tavallaan samaa parivaljakko täällä kärkisijoilla on, kuten on myös tässä heittävä Ricky Wysocki, 21-vuotias jenkki,
He's been solid, 8 down to open, 5 down to follow. Matching Will's 10 down tournament high yesterday to vault him up to tie Will for starting in second place, tied for second place. And he's managed to get 6 down, and like we said, he's 1 back from Paul McBeth. This should make for a very exciting finish. See right there, he goes off of the rope and then cans the putt. And I think it's fair to say that Ricky's one of the greatest putters outside of the circle that's in the game right now, that's playing.
Alongside this guy, draining putts from all over the course. Beautiful backhands, beautiful sidearm coming into the island green on 16. Clutch as he gets right here.
You cannot count Paul McBeth out. You can't say enough good things about his game. And it's funny that with a record-setting 12 down and then a 10 down before hurting his back, he limped in with a 4 down yesterday. That ace is what's separating him from Ricky Wysocki going into these last few holes.
Exactly.
So ace on hole 9 that we tried to get on SportsCenter, but we just weren't there with the right kind of cameras. Apologies to all the fans out in the U.S. We want it on SportsCenter just as much as you do. We'll get one for you. I promise sooner or later it's going to happen.
McBeth, you've been in the lead throughout the competition, but there's been an upward trend in your scores. What are you expecting from the final?
An exciting final. I know the people on that lead card are here to play. They're all within striking distance, so for myself, I just need to shoot a good score, and if I do that, I'm pretty confident that I can bring home the win.
You were holding your back a little bit yesterday. Will it be an issue on the round today?
I don't think I'll allow it to be an issue today. There's too much on the line right now to worry about that, so I don't think it's anything major, just more like shooting pain here and there. But I shouldn't let it affect me at all today.
And here is how Paul shot yesterday with only 6 birdies and 2 bogeys, and you have to think that despite what he's telling you, the back has to affect him with a round like that, especially after coming off a 12 and a 10.
Yeah, when you're an athlete, you're relying on your body to perform, and trying to throw these shots, very crucial, accurate, long-distance shots, that back wrenching the way it is, it's really hard to perform at the top of your ability, and he seems to put on a show today. He's struggling a little bit as far as being 3 down for the round right now, but he's still holding on a 1-stroke lead going in the last 4 holes.
And he's actually just been tied by Ricky. Hole 14, Ricky took a birdie, Paul parred. They are tied coming around the corner, and right next to 15's tee pad is 17, and a big arm from Finland, Seppo Paju.
17, one of the tougher par 3s on the course, sloping downside, left side. OB finds the stakes.
You have to be very, very careful with the height you place on the disc. You can see he was a little bit high. He kind of knew the reaction right as he let the disc go. And then Nate Sexton, our guest on the Insider Show last night, you could see him sporting the Oregon State rival school of my friend here, Avery Jenkins.
Go Ducks.
But both on Team Discmania, so past rivals become future teammates, and Sexton's going to line up beforehand.
There's a beautiful approach to this kind of hole. Sloping right to left, you're playing against the grain by throwing that forehand shot. He's just playing for a 3, hitting it up on the high side of the hill, looking to slide it up there, walk away with an easy par.
I've noticed that that's kind of the sweet spot when the players are playing 4-3. That's where they want to be.
Yeah, if you're a good forehand thrower or a lefty like Devin Owens here, you can attack this hole a little more confidently than you can a backhand. But I would assume that Devin, with his power and his distance, being lefty, he's going at this hole.
It does help to have that left-handed fade into the upward slope of the green.
460 downhill.
He's going for it.
Playing it out left side, letting it slide back to the pin.
Big skip. And he's a little higher up the hill. He's going to have a dangerous putt. But he has an opportunity. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. His putter has been very consistent all weekend. He's really played at and above his level all weekend.
Here's Ulabari, looking to go backhand shot. Looking to go lace line straight forward.
He needs it to stay to the right side of that fairway and hit really soft.
Very surprised with a backhand shot selection, especially being such a great forehand thrower himself. They didn't just put it out there to the left with a forehand, bringing it back. Play aggressive if you want to get the birdie, but this kind of hole, you'd walk away with a 3 all day long.
And of the players on this card, Nate Sexton is the one currently sitting inside the top 10. He's 19 down for the tournament. He's 4 down through today's round. And he's known for playing very smart. He's a calculated risk taker. And you can see Seppo here is take a replay of his drive on 16. Very big arm. He's not afraid to really just lean into one. It takes a big spike shot, putting it high up in the air, going for the
beautiful
island. That's a very high risk shot, but it's great if you don't want the skip, if you need it just to sit right there. And great shot by Seppo, who would end up hitting that putt to birdie. He's actually birdied the last 2 holes. He birdied the par 4s 15 and 16. And see what he can do. Maybe a throw in to magically save the par and continue his 7-down round.
Here's the fellows on the second card here, lining up the second shot to the island green 16. Fellberg first to go. This is a decent shot, no matter the conditions, wind, rain. In perfect conditions, this is a very highly demanded, accurate shot. Have to land within the island. If it scoots out the back or comes up short, you must rethrow from that previous lie.
And Feldberg's looking to crack the top 5. He's at 21 down for the tournament.
Burns it low, sticks right in the green we're looking for.
Great shot. That should be no problem for him with his range. And Jeremy Colling currently solo 3rd place at 26 under par. Only 1 bogey, 8 down. Let's see if he can hit the island.
Yeah, he's on a scorcher right now, feeling the flow, playing steady, picking up his birdies when he needs to. Being a forehand thrower, there's a great approach in this island green.
A tenet of the Beast course out here at Nokia. You have to have a good forehand. You got to be able to attack from both sides.
Epic shot. That was perfectly placed. Easy birdie from this on out. Looking to go 9 down.
And Colling, known as maybe the best forehand player in the world right now in the game, and a big jokester. One of the goofiest guys on tour. He always has a lot of fun, both on and off the course. And Lassi Hakunen, he is the leading Finn in the tournament right now. He's 13 down. He slipped a little bit from when he came in this morning. He's sitting at 13 down for the tournament, but 3 over today. Came off a tough bogey on 15, looking to make up for that. And Drew Gibson, the young gun. Tell me a little bit about Drew Gibson for those who haven't heard of him yet.
He's just a very underrated player for the distance that this guy possesses is phenomenal. He can keep up with the best throwers in the game, distance-wise, accuracy-wise. He can putt from just about anywhere. Super aggressive, super confident player, and I can see him coming up in the future.
And he's played quite well this weekend. I don't know, probably due to that haircut. Looking pretty sharp out there.
Yeah. Once he got the new do, the European do, he shot 8 down yesterday, and he's on a good pace today.
Here's Devin Owens looking for birdie on hole 17.
About 25 feet uphill. Putting downhill. A little crosswind left to right.
Solid.
Dead center.
Can't do it too much better than that. For all us lefties out there that don't get to see a lot of guys on tour putt with that hand, rewind, check that out again. That was a great way to just put it right in the center of the chains.
That's a birdie you need to pick up being a left-hand thrower. That's the hole. It shapes perfectly for his throw.
And Sexton intelligently laying up, taking his par, moving on, trying to secure a top 10. He said last night on the Insider Show he was looking for at least a top 7 finish, and it's quite possible. He is 2 off of 7th place Dave Feldberg. Feldberg looks to be lining up a birdie, though, on hole 16.
There's Julian Seppo tapping in their bogey putts, going into the last hole, final hole, 18.
We had a very interesting prize for the ace on 17. Let's take a look real quick at Dave here. This is Feldberg's upshot 216's Island Green. A really low burner.
Oh, beautiful slow-mo. See the release trajectory. Tongue out.
The leg kick
Body
up.
language is out.
And this is brought to you by the Antelope camera. hyper slow-mo. This is 3,200 frames per second, I've been told. And disc golf looks pretty awesome in slow motion. And here's Drew Gibson with really fantastic form. He has some of the best form of the guys on tour right now. Just very smooth.
Great extension with that putt, like we were saying before. Just really reaching for the chains. Without a doubt, he knew it was in.
And holding up the lead card here on, looks to be 16. They're waiting on 16.
Look at all the junior players out there. A lot of kids helping out the players by caddying this week. It's phenomenal to see just the upbringing of Finnish kids playing disc golf in this country. I only wish we could see this in the States in the future.
Paul and Will have had the same caddy all week. You can tell these youngsters, they get a sense of pride being able to carry these guys' bags. I mean, everybody's big here. Everybody's a rock star here. Avery, I'm hanging out with you just before, and you're signing autographs left and right.
I can't remember last time I signed this many autographs in one weekend. Simon actually came out this morning for warm-ups, and before he even gets to the practice field, he signed more autographs than he had discs to throw.
That's fantastic to see. And this is the drone footage of hole 16. You can see the very treacherous island green that we're talking about. An island on a par 4. You can see the line isn't quite the road. It's just inside of it, so it's very tricky. It's kind of a when you're standing below it on the fairway, it's tough to see where that line actually is. And here's the hole 17. If you ace hole 17 and there's only a few chances left, you're going to win that Mercedes that's parked right next to it. Really just absolutely record-setting prize for an ace. I've never heard of anything like that in disc golf. Like you're saying, about 459 feet downhill, very treacherous. We've always seen a variety of types of drives on that hole.
It'd be spectacular to actually see an ace on this kind of hole. If you're lefty, I think you have a good shot. Sidearms, you're going to have to crush it, but ace on that hole would be phenomenal.
And your favorite hole, hole 18, you can see, we'll call it the disc eye view. The flight of the disc, if you're throwing it really well, you're going to go right down the mode part. You can see it widens out in the corner. That's where you want to be, right down by the young trees.
Nice little sweet spot in there. As you turn the corner up the hill, it's about a 350, 360-foot shot up the hill with crosswinds prevailing and elevated basket just to top it off the challenge.
And signature UC Maresman design trait. Big scoreboard looking at you as you finish the tournament.
So here on 16, it's a very unique hole for the reason that it's played with the bunker rule. Bunker rule being that you have to land your shot in bounds. If it hits in bounds and goes out of bounds, you rethrow from the previous lie. You're trying to land the shot in bounds, and then the next shot in bounds on the green. If not, you rethrow from the previous lie. Very unique because a lot of times when you throw a B, you take that stroke and you go in where you're last in bounds. Unique hole. When played smart, you can capitalize a lot of strokes on the entire field.
And this could make a big difference coming down. Ricky looks very focused.
No,
he hits the cameraman and stays in bounds. When that happens, we saw that at USDGC a few years ago with Barry Schultz and a spectator. He will stay in bounds. That will be his lie.
I'm speechless right now. That can make a huge difference in the play, good or bad. It's just, man, to have something like that happen, hit a cameraman with a shot to keep it in bounds.
Easily 50-50 whether that disc was in bounds or out. It was going to roll past the line, but it could have come back in. It's very hard to tell, but what's done is done. Ricky Wysocki is in bounds. He gets to take his meter off the line and have an approach. Look, try to get a birdie. Here's Paul McBeth. A hurt back. Ricky with a very fortunate break. Let's see how McBeast responds.
He thrives in this position right here. On the ropes, tie game, playing aggressive, down the stretch 3 holes to go. Tie game with Ricky Wysocki, Paul McBeth.
Swinging it out, keeping it hyzer, getting a little closer to the green, not trying to bite off as much of the fairway.
He has the one shot down the stretch. You're still thinking about 16, no matter if you're shooting good or bad. You're thinking about this second shot. It's everything. You hope you get it on the first time. You hope you don't miss. I've seen players miss several times, 5, 6 times in a row. Very crucial shot coming down the final holes.
We've seen that as recently as yesterday. Here's KJ Nybo sitting at 22 under par. He just double bogeyed the par 4 15 but he places it beautifully.
Great shot, center cut.
And you know a little bit about this pressure. You know, back in 2009, you were battling with Josh Anton. And just when you have to have that, with this injury, do you think he even feels it right now?
I think he's getting on so much momentum flow, so much adrenaline just kicking in right now that I think it's the beauty of the beast, man. He is McBeast. He's not feeling it right now. He's all in the moment, trying to take down this win, trying to take this title home.
Here's a drive on 18. It looks like a Prodigy disc. I didn't see who threw it, but that's a perfectly placed drive. Got to the corner.
Yeah, when it comes down to the final holes, man, you're really feeling it. You're trying to play that. You're not worried about third. You're not worried about fourth. It's you and the guy you're tied with. That's the battle. You're battling against the course simultaneously, trying to capitalize, trying to take an advantage, and try to take this title home.
And a quick check of the score with KJ taking that double bogey that actually Dave Feldberg birdieing 16. They are now tied at 22 under par, tied for 5th place. Will Schuster has 4 strokes on them sitting in 4th. Looks like he could cruise to a top 4 finish. He could also overtake Colling, who is 1 hole ahead of him and also 1 stroke ahead of him at 27. And then Paul and Ricky holding it down, tied for 1st at 30 under par.
So with Ricky's shot hitting the cameraman, stays in bounds. He's taking his meter from the OB line. This actually sets up really nice for a sidearm. I don't know if he was going to go backhand previous to this, but the sidearm shot is the only option he has at this point.
And it looks like actually Paul McBeth is going to go first, and he's also lining up a sidearm.
He's looking to plant this on the green and put the pressure on.
And you have to wonder if he played it inside or if he played it just a little bit shorter so he could go first and put that pressure on Ricky, who did miss the island yesterday on his first sidearm approach from about the same spot. He's throwing a Sexton Firebird, his touring partner this year. And this is big here. And that is McBeast at its finest.
Beautiful line, nice and low, keeping it out of the wind. Anything that was going to do anything was staying in that green, no doubt about it.
His caddy loves it.
Here's Rick lining up that patent forehand shot. You're talking about Colin being one of the best players of the forehand. This guy right here, Ricky Wasaki, one of the best forehand players in the world.
Undoubtedly elite with the sidearm. This is looking a little bit flat, a little bit long, and he's gone out with the bunker roll. He will rethrow from his previous lie. And Ricky's not somebody who takes a whole lot of time in between shots.
He's looking ready to rip the second approach. Making the adjustment. Looks a little more hyzer, a little more overstable.
And he misses a second time.
Wow.
The crowd cheering for Ricky, and this is a big momentum shift in favor of Paul McBeth. You have to wonder if he planned it like that.
The tides have turned.
And there's a missed putt from Lassi Hakkonen. Can't tell if he was inbounds or out of bounds. But he'll tap in and take probably 1 more stroke than he meant to. You can see Feldberg's watching. Teammate of Ricky from Latitude 64. Ricky's going to take his time on this one.
Ricky Wasaki on his 3rd approach, forehand shot. Hopefully he made the adjustments a little longer, a little more left.
There it is.
Right up by the basket.
And he'll be able to tap in for bogey.
Wow, that was something. To get the break, to hit the cameraman, stay in bounds, a very fortunate break, only to turn to 2 shots missed, 3rd one on. He's going to tap in for a bogey.
And that reaction shot right there said everything that we could say in a look.
There's KJ Nybo lining up his 2nd shot approach. Looking to go backhand spike hyzer.
9-time Danish champion.
He loves this tournament. He's been playing this tournament for as long as I know. This is my 6th time at the European Open, and he's been here every time. He loves this shot.
Good height, good angle, get in. Skips over the hay bales, and that should be no problem to tap in. A little more than a tap in. But
he's shaking his head. That's some excitement right there. He couldn't believe it. Coming up short, but had enough angle on the spike to jump over the bales, back safe, inbounds. It should be an easy birdie from there.
Paul, you can see Paul's instantly relaxed a little bit more, joking around with KJ. KJ's one of the nicest guys on tour, and really he's fun to watch. He's
Absolutely.
Very excited to always just play and compete, especially when the American players come over and compete, closer to his home turf. But just a great guy.
He's one of my favorite players, no doubt about it. Here's Will Schustrick line up a forehand shot, second shot, approaching his island green. Good line, good height, puts it inside the bails. That was 3 players of the 4 that went sidearm approach. You can see the way it lines up, kind of a left to right taper, that it kind of feeds and finishes back in the bails. If it was a skip, it's going to stay in bounds most likely. It really depends on your position after the first shot to where you're going to line up. KJ went backhand. He's comfortable with that, and it proved to be a success.
All right, let's check out Seppo. Second shot on hole 18. Big arm, needs a skip. Perfect.
Right to the bails.
And that should be an easy birdie. Great way to finish a round, birdieing on 18. That should take Seppo to 7 under par, 22 for the tournament. And before KJ will have this putt, that will actually tie him. So that will move him up into tied for 5th. Feldberg has taken a bogey on hole 17, so he drops back, and he's actually tied with Seppo for 6th place at the moment. And here's the lead card putting on 16.
Here's Macbeth wearing all blue, putting blue. Easy birdie.
There's the fish shake right there. He knows his back is hurting. He knows he needed that break, and he just put one in bounds when he had to.
Yeah, there's a lot of relief with this second shot. Getting 16, you're getting past this hole. Sure, you do got 2 more holes to go. Depending on the game plan, we'll see what's up. He's up by 2 over Ricky Wysocki.
And Will Schustrick with a great birdie putt there to put him 27 under par with 2 to go. And even bigger for Ricky, Jeremy Colling has birdied hole 17, putting him at 28 under par. Ricky makes this putt. That should be a bogey. That would drop him to 29. And Jeremy Colling's hunting a 2nd place all of a sudden, all the way from the chase card.
It's unbelievable what this course can do. 15, 16, 17, 18. These finishing 4 holes can change a lot in the leaderboards. Like you're saying, a player from the 2nd card making up to 2nd place. You know, unreal. This course is very demanding, very challenging, and if you slip or forget you're playing disc golf for a second, it'll make you pay for it.
And if you're looking at places 8 through 11, you're looking at only 2 strokes, or only 1 stroke, excuse me, separating all these places. So all these guys that are not on the lead card are still jockeying for a top 10 finish. It is not decided yet. And see,
beautiful forehand shot from Colling there. Put it nice and safe.
Great point out. Avery, you have now moved up to 14th place. Lassie's struggled a little bit. He's back to 12 down. And here's Drew Gibson, hole 18.
Here's another Nate Sexton Tour Series Firebird. Putting it right side, swinging it back, left side. Little deep, little long. Yeah, he put a little more power on that. He's trying to go back in that corner, setting up a nice 2nd shot. It's all about accuracy on that approach and really trying to lay up to that certain zone. And he got a little strong on that one.
He's throwing a Firebird all the way past the corner. A player with power like Drew Gibson showing it off right there. Dave Feldberg, the veteran. It needs to sit down. And that's going to cost him a stroke. And that is crucial. Dave is hunting for that top 5, and that will hurt. To get up and down and take a par would secure him at 21 under. Lassi Hakkinen started out as the highest placed Finn going into the round, has been overtaken since then by Seppo, and he gets the little curl back in bounds.
Kind of messing with the line on the backside right where Drew went out. Curls back in, swings back in the shortcut. Should have a nice angle for the approach on the 18th green.
And we really can't say enough good things about hole 18. First of all, you have to place that drive, and then you have to place that uphill shot to an even smaller landing zone.
It's an incredible demanding hole. It's 2 great shots, setting up a sizable putt sometimes. Really just trying to play it safe. Keep it in the lines, keep it in the short grass, and fortunately you can walk away with a 3. A lot of players, if you're out of position, a lot of times you might lay up short, keep it in the shortcut, keep it in the center of the fairway, and you might want to just kind of walk away with a 4. But I love this hole. I love how it kind of changes what you're really thinking. You can never take this hole for granted.
And the positioning has really changed, and not in the way that we've expected it to. Jeremy Colling is 10 down. If he's able to birdie hole 18, he will take sole possession of the second best score this weekend. We've seen at least two other 10 downs, and we've seen 2 12 downs, obviously the record. Jeremy Colling's looking to make a name for himself and really move. And there's Colling's great forehand in slow motion.
I love this little set of slow motion shots. It's really something new that disc golf not seen, especially in the media coverage. And to see in slow motion just the trajectory, the force, the torque, but the flexibility and extension on these shots it's phenomenal.
Yeah, we need to get you one of those tools for when you're teaching. You teach all over the world, and that would be an excellent device to have to help teach people how to throw. But if you can't do that, watch it on the show and compare it to yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm actually looking forward to the next 10 days, hanging out in Finland, doing a series of clinics in Helsinki, then up the West Coast. I'm doing this every summer, coming over to Finland, progressing and teaching the younger players over here as this sport is just blowing up extremely, seeing a lot more courses get installed, up to 450 courses in the country of Finland, the second biggest market in disc golf right now, and I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to come over here and teach every summer.
450 courses in Finland, and all eyes are on Nokia today. Dave Feldberg lining up his second shot on 18.
Takes his marker meter in from the line, setting up a second shot on 18 hole. Playing it safe, just throwing it up there in the middle. No worries, don't want to stress himself out too much, just keeping it in the short grass.
Known for throwing black putters. I'm not sure if he knows where he is in the standings. He really could use to take a par here and not a bogey. That would drop him to a sole 7th place behind Seppo and just ahead of Nate Sexton.
It's crazy to see just in these last 2 holes how many strokes have swung either way from the first card to the second card, and a lot of players changing positions within these 2 cards. It's crucial coming down the stretch, 17 and especially 18, how many strokes can be given and taken.
Oh, excuse me, my live score was not updated. Nate Sexton actually double bogeyed the last hole to go to 17 down. And Nate Doss has jumped into the top 10. He's sitting in 8th place.
Zalasi playing aggressive. Saws left side. Looks to be flirting with the left side line.
Looking for the flag. He's pretty confident that it seems to be out of bounds. There's the red flag from the spotter.
That was really close. It seems like right there, though, you're going to take a meter in and have about a 15 to 18 footer.
So now it's on Drew Gibson. Drew needs to par here to hold on to that top 10 spot. If he bogeys, he will tie Nate Sexton at 11. This is a big shot for Drew. Young gun trying to rack up some top 10s, move him to top 5s, and eventually take down one of these big tournaments.
Yeah, this would be really great for him to go a top 10 finish in this kind of tournament against the best players in the world. For a young player like this could drive a lot of confidence going to the World Championships in 2 weeks.
Out of the Sacramento area. He slips a little bit.
Firebird coming in quick, coming in fast.
He's got to sit.
Checked up. I saw those branches of that pine kind of shift and shake. He might have a tricky putt coming out of the backside of there.
Tricky putt to earn the top 10. And that's a moment where it tests what you're made of. And this looks exactly like where his lie was yesterday. He has once again thrown it just to the base of that tree. And yesterday, he put it 5 feet from the basket, having a really awkward run-up and trying to throw that backhand and avoid scraping his arm on that branch.
I'm not sure he knows where he's at right now as far as position. I'm not sure if he checked that leaderboard to see that Ricky doubled 16. Took a bogey on 16 to put him in a tie for second right now. Colin looking to play aggressive out. Mean hyzer on this, trying to put it upright, slide it left.
What a skip.
Puts it top shelf.
Wow. That should net him easily a birdie, move him into second place at 29 under par. Fantastic performance coming down the stretch by Jeremy Colling, who has only had 1 bogey today on hole 8. Since then, he's only parred twice. The rest have been birdies.
Wow. That shot shook me a little bit. I can't believe the way it bounced and shot to the right like 20 feet just to put him on that first stair of the elevated basket. Here's Gibson's shot again. Playing aggressive, trying to drive into those hay bales, skip forward, maybe on the edge of that tree. Like I said, it's going to be a tricky putt down there for the top 10 spot.
And there's the angle on that hyzer shot going into the uphill.
See that bounce?
Wow. Anything can happen when it's a major. Anything can happen on hole 18. That's one of the more impressive things I've seen all day.
Here comes the second card, charging up the fairway of 18. Gallery lined up along the sides, just trying to take it all in. This is an awesome experience for the players and spectators that did come out today to watch this awesome event. They're getting quite a show. You know, watching Colling come in, placing an awesome score, in contention for second place. Macbeth, you know, they're here for the show.
And Jeremy Colling has had a breakout year, really. He was on the lead card at this tournament 2 years ago, but he's been quiet. And then he comes out, wins the Memorial, takes down Macbeth himself in a playoff, and just really having a solid season. You can't say too much more than that. You wonder how much he'll look back in a couple weeks and say, man, I was one stroke off of tying that record with Paul and KJ. But an 11 down is nothing to be ashamed about, especially on this course. Most of the field didn't get to 11 down in 4 rounds, much less on the final day, playing in front of a gallery, playing on TV. Congratulations to Jeremy Colling.
Here's Felberg's 4th shot. He actually took it a little wide right, a little long, back in this pine from a knee. Looks to be about 25 feet, putting up into an elevated basket. Nice touch. Good finish.
Great putt from Dave Feldberg. Another very noted teacher of the game and ambassador. He travels the world a lot. And you guys used to tour together back in the day, and wonder if you guys kind of inspired each other to really reach out and grow the game worldwide.
Yeah, we definitely drove ourselves to be the best players in the world, and then from there we inspired each other to be great teachers, great ambassadors, and he was my roommate for 10 years, so we learned a lot from each other.
Lassi Hakkinen. Good finish.
Yeah, unfortunate break with the OB right there on the green, but like I said, he marks it in a meter, knocks down his par putt.
That should easily keep him in the top 20. Solid finish. Here's Drew Gibson to secure a top 10 at a major.
About 18 feet outside, birdie putt, elevated basket. Just put it to the center chains. You got this.
There you go, Drew.
Well
Good
deserved.
top 10 finish. The young gun from Sacramento.
Look at that haircut. Gotta
love that haircut. Wonder who gave that to him.
Gotta love it.
There's Jeremy Colling tapping in. No easier than that. He makes hole 18 look easy. Let's check out Jeremy Colling's stats from hole 18 as we look back through the 4 rounds. Jeremy Colling played hole 18 4 under for the weekend. Birdied it every single day.
Making it look easy.
His last 3 holes, the TV holes we're going to see, he only parred 3 times. He parred 16 and 17 in the first round. He parred 17 in the third round. Every other time he's approached the finish of a round, he's birdied it.
Wow,
and if you want to move up in the major rankings, and if you want to move up and compete against the best in the world, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to put the birdies down when it counts, and Jeremy Colling's done it with style.
Absolutely. It's fun to watch his gameplay. He's so good with the backhand, so good with the forehand. He's been definitely a monster on the putting green, and he's accelerated his growth as a player over the last 2 seasons.
And
here we go, lead card on 17.
Hole 17. Now, here's the greatest thing. Ricky's going to take that 6 on hole 16, and it's far from over.
Yep.
We've talked all week about how 17 is such a treacherous green with that downslope. Let's see if Will opts for the forehand or the backhand. He looks like he's taking a slightly slower disc.
Looks to be a mid-range disc. I think he's just going to place it on a straight shot down the middle, not looking to tail off right or left, just playing it nice and safe.
And this
tailing off right a little bit, playing it up the hill, looking to stay in. trailed off on him a little bit, maybe a little crosswind, left to right, blew him OB.
And that's so hard. That's one of the great tricks about hole 17 is a driver is going to finish so fast that it wants to skip, but you may overpower a mid-range, and you're seeing a lot of players go way left or way right, except for this guy. He's parked this hole a couple times already this tournament.
Also a mid-range, looking just to play it safe. At this point, you got a 3-stroke lead. You're not looking to play aggressive. This hole is an awesome 3. Take it, walk away, move on to 18.
Especially not with an injured back that is tailing off to the left and needs to slow down, and he stays in bounds.
Great disc selection by being a mid-range disc that didn't skip as much. If that was a driver, that was definitely going OB left. Great disc selection, great club. Keep it in bounds, play it safe. Just walk this victory in.
Here comes KJ Nybo, currently in 5th, 23 under par.
KJ likes to attack this hole. He's got a driver in his hand. Looking to fire it straight. Slight little flip up. Trying to ride this hill as it fades to the left. Looking for the little downslope.
And he's long.
But stays in bounds. That's a long putt coming back at it, but fortunately stayed in bounds.
That's one of the longer drives I've seen on that hole. Not too many people are going to go way past it. You can see got a high five from Jussi Mieresma, Marshall and tournament director extraordinaire.
Here's Ricky's chance.
Going big. There's a sake bomb right there. Needs a forward skip. Curled to the pin. Ricky Wasaki is not done, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
That is putting it down when you have to put it down.
This is his strength, though. Being a forehand thrower, this hole sets up beautifully for that kind of finish. That check up to the roll and the little victory lap around the basket, that all just happened. Fortunately for him, it's going to be an easy drop-in birdie.
Not so fast, Macbeth. And here's some slow-mo of Will Schustrick. Very lanky build on Schustrick. A great extension. Paul, a little shorter, a little more compact form. Still very smooth, even with a hurt back. I wish my form could look that smooth if I was injured.
Yeah, just great flexibility, great power, and really ultimately great speed. Like I said, playing that mid-range, you get that nice, soft check-up skip. Kept him in bounds, no doubt about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he's happy with it. Probably a little less happy after Ricky's parked it, because now this actually puts Macbeth in a little bit of a position, because that's not an easy go for.
No.
It's not a guaranteed go for, and if he picks up and rolls, hole 18 gets a whole lot more interesting very quickly.
No, I can see him trying to, at this time, his game plan is to lay it up, give Ricky the stroke, lead by 2 going in the last hole.
Will's taking his mark, a meter in bounds after going OB on his drive.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Will was really just trying to play it safe, just like Macbeth, choosing the mid-range drive, trying to play it short, leaving a sizable, easy approach, and then trying to tap in for 3 and move on. But with these windy conditions and these crosswinds and being the ropes so tight on this hole, anything can happen. Keep it down the middle or throw a forehand. A couple options there.
You can see the movement in the trees. The wind has picked up a little bit as the rains have rolled in and through. The clouds are still hanging around. It's threatening to rain a little bit more, and it could at any moment. It's been on and off all day.
Yeah, I think we're getting lucky here. Waking up this morning, we did have a couple sessions of rain, even during the round, and we're very, very lucky right now for the fact that we don't have a downpour rain during the final holes. National TV broadcast. We want to have our, the best possible chance to get on this with the media coverage, and we don't want to have all these spectators out in the rain.
And the rain has not deterred them, even though it was earlier. You can see they are out in droves. There are multiple thousand people out here today. They're lining all the way up around 16, 17, all the way up to the scoreboard on 18. Really phenomenal to see such support for the sport overseas.
Estimated 3,000 players and spectators out here to witness the final round of the European Open.
Oh, and Macbeth sounded like he hit the band on that one. He was going for it. He wanted to end the tournament right there and draw some blood. He's fortunate he didn't roll down the hill. That shouldn't be too much problem for him to get his 3. Ricky should take a stroke from him, and that only leaves 2 strokes going into hole 18, and that's not a guarantee.
Here's KJ backside green, like we were saying. It looks Slightly uphill from here, about 35, 40-footer.
You can see the red line is the camera line. That's where they've built the TV stands. You do not take a penalty. You get to mark it a meter in with no penalty if you land in that area. But it looks like he was just inside of it anyway.
KJ with a little bid, low left side.
Let's real quick take a look at the stats on 18. Paul Macbeth, through the first 2 rounds, had parred on his record-setting round of 12, and then his 10 down the second day. He took a 4. Yesterday, he birdied it to get back to 4 down to finish, as he gets a very easy par putt right there. So he's played at 2 under par for the tournament so far. And tabbing over to Ricky here, you can see, again, thanks to Scorin for providing these great stats for the European Open. He's actually played 18 the exact same way. His 8-down round was capped off with a par, as well as his 5-down on Friday. And yesterday, to get to 10 and to tie Will Schustrick, he birdied. So both of these players have very similar strategies and similar scores going into 18. Let's see if one of them can really pull it out and make this last hole as exciting as we expect it to be.
All these spectators came out here to witness a show, to witness a showcase round coming down the stretch. Last 5-6 holes, Ricky and Macbeth tying it up, coming down to 16, being a very crucial island shot. Ricky falls back by 3. Now at this point right here, it's a 2-stroke game on one of the hardest, most challenging, difficult finishing holes in disc golf.
And taking a replay of some of the putts, you see Schustrick's extension. Gets a little wrist flick at the bottom of his shot. And the spectators moving over to 18. And I have to be honest with you, I'm still thinking about Colling right now.
Yeah.
Colling shot 8 down on the back 9 of the Beast on the final day in less than ideal conditions. Right now holding on to sole possession of second place, 1 stroke ahead of Ricky Wysocki. Or they should be tied, excuse me, after the live scoring updates. And Paul Macbeth staying at 31 under par. Ricky has his work cut out for him, but hole 18's no gimme. And taking a look down at my partner Avery Jenkins here with that solid 5-down round. He's sitting inside the top 15. Slipped up to a 14 spot.
Yeah, it's crazy what happens out there. Like I said, a lot of strokes are given and taken. And about just keeping it in bounds, having a solid game plan, knowing when to attack, knowing when to lay up. Just being patient on a course like this is really going to help you score well. Look at the crowd control. There's a sea of people out there. Look at all the kids. I'm blown away with all the children out here watching disc golf firsthand, the biggest event in Europe, in the country of Finland, the hotbed for all that is disc golf these days. And it's just great to see such a showing, such support from all these spectators that came out here on the final day of the European Open.
I've long said it that events like the President's Cup are going to do nothing but get more and more competitive as the gap shrinks because of all these young kids. And you see them out on the practice green. After all the cards have teed off, some of them are watching, and then some of them go for the practice green, and they are absolutely just phenomenal with the shots that they can throw at the ages that they are. Ricky Wysocki off the tee with a forehand.
You can see they're just coming in right to that sweet spot, right between the pines.
And he's gone big. He's gone up above the trees. That's an aggressive line. Look how far he got up the fairway on that big monster forehand.
He's looking to press right now. Back by 2. You got to play aggressive. He's looking to birdie this hole and see what Beth does with the rest of the way.
And that means he wants the win or nothing else. Second place means nothing to him. He doesn't care if he gets 3rd or 4th. He wants the win. Paul Macbeth to respond. Paul Macbeth is always sticking to the game plan.
Always.
He says no matter what, he sticks to his game plan, and
that's green light go right there. That's green flag inbound center cut fairway.
The same shot he's thrown every single day, the same disc he's thrown every day, that yellow destroyer that he favors, and it's just he's in automatic mode at this point. Take a par, bring it home.
There's KJ going driver off the 18th.
KJ, be tough to do too much. He could slip a spot and tie Seppo with a bogey here. So he needs to play solid. There's not too much he can do to catch Will Schustrick, who has 3 strokes on him at this point. But KJ, another player who prepares very well for these tournaments.
Yeah, he's out here days, sometimes weeks before these events, playing sometimes 4 to 5 to 6 holes that day over and over and over again, and he's constantly taking notes. It's kind of a way you'll see professional disc golf evolve. The players are taking notes out there on the course.
And you'll notice he's got this notebook in his back pocket, and it is filled with what he's going to do, how he's going to throw it, even where he's going to line up on the tee pad and how he's going to walk across the tee pad. Just precision is the word that comes to mind when you think about KJ and his preparation and how he wants to take these tournaments down. And winning 9 Danish championships is, consistency is the name of that game.
Yeah, he's one of the top 3 players in all of Europe, and he's been showcasing his skills and ability at the past majors, even being Masters championship last year at Järva in Sweden. He played absolutely phenomenal last round. It was him and Macbeth battling out. He had an ace during that final round, and how it all came down, unfortunately, he came up just a couple of strokes short as Macbeth took that one down last year. Here's some slow motion video of Ricky's forehand, Macbeth's backhand. Nice extension, good speed, good power. What a clean release.
It looks like a little bit of a wince right there. Seen Paul throw quite a few shots, and there's a little more of a grimace on his face as he was following through, but more than anything, he wants to win, and he wants to keep his dreams of a Grand Slam alive. He came very close a couple years ago, ultimately falling in the USDGC to Steve Brenster, I believe was the year. That was Steve's year to win, but he's hunting it this year. It's a little bit tougher. There's actually 5 majors this year instead of the usual 4, so he's got his work cut out for him, but if anybody can do it, Paul Macbeth is the front runner. He's looking to bring home major number 3 behind the Aussie Open and the Scandinavian Open.
Looks to be KJ throwing first, second shot up the hill. A stiff tailwind, possibly right to left. Looking to place his shot just inside the left side of that scoreboard. Try to skip it up there. Try and get within at least 20 feet.
He needs to place it well or get a couple lucky breaks. Paul Macbeth actually skipped it off the stage a couple days ago and managed to land inbounds, hit the big scoreboard, skipped off the stage, and ended up with about a 25-footer, which he ultimately hit. KJ Nybo looks like a hyzer backhand approach.
Kind of leaning back, no follow through, trying to spike it in there though. Good.
Oh, there's
and
another one of skips.
And then roll back in for a good.
The gallery likes it.
Wow,
the green flag is there. And again,
that was inbounds, out of bounds, then back inbounds. There's a lot of action going on the green from Colling's shot to KJ's shot. It's not a walk in the park right now, folks. You really want to keep this thing flat and on the ground and close to that basket.
These players know something about this uphill because we've consistently seen Drew, Jeremy, and now KJ get that forward skip on that hyzer spike shot.
Here's Will going to another patented standstill shot. You're trying to deliver a lot of power out of your body doing a standstill. No run-up, kind of stymied against this tree a little bit, kind of preventing a clean run-up. Going standstill for the control, trying to use your body to produce all this power.
And he's got a huge reach back, which definitely helps generate that power.
That's a big shot from a stand.
It needs that forward skip. It doesn't get it in the short grass. He's going to take his mark about where Paige Pierce was when we saw her a little while ago.
That's what they do with the manicuring of this course, though, is the fairway, the center cut is the shortest. It's the fastest. That outside line, everything OB, very thick grass. If you're going to hit over there, you're most likely going to stay, unless it has a bunch of angle and a bunch of forward skip. I just saw Will's shot, came with some angle. It's very thick. It ate it up. It's unfortunately OB, short left.
And it changes how you play.
Yeah, most definitely.
Paul Macbeth with the tournament to put it away. If he puts it close enough, Paul Macbeth could take home his 3rd major of the year. It's wide enough. It needs to come in. Ooh.
Give him the green
he gets
light,
the green
though.
flag.
I was very surprised with a driver in his hand at that point. All he needs is a par to walk away. Even if Ricky birdies this hole, a par will still secure a 1-stroke victory. kind of surprised by going driver and not a mid-range, just laying up in the middle. But he knows what he's doing out there. He's confident in his ability. He's confident in his disc. And fortunately enough, that skip forward still kept him in bounds.
So Ricky Wysocki pretty much needs to throw it in.
Yes.
And have McBeth miss the putt to force a playoff.
We're going to see how good of a run this is. This is a difficult shot just to keep it close throwing it uphill, but to try to throw it in from now. Just looking birdie,
Ricky. That should be a birdie. Go ahead and start penciling in that 3 and kind of fill in the rest when he actually puts it in the basket. But that should be no problem for Ricky, who, like we've always said, his putter has been a very strong part of his game and has been on all week. And
here's a sea of people coming up the 18th fairway. Spectacular to see for disc golf in Europe. I'm looking forward to seeing stuff like this in the States as we progress in the future of disc golf and media coverage. But to see the droves of people out there supporting and spectating this event, spectacular.
From the biggest disc golf cities to small towns, we've really seen disc golf take off in the U.S., and Finland has set the bar for where we can go with these big tournaments. So it's, with the number of disc golfers we have in the U.S., it's completely possible. And again, Finland set the bar, and it's now our turn to match it. We have the players, we have the competition. Can't wait. I can't wait to see this stateside, and it's such a treat to come over here and experience this tournament. My first time, and you're 6th, and you're still talking about it like I am, and I had never been here before.
Yeah, and we both know the reason why it's so big in Europe right now and so big in Finland and the events the way it is. It's because of UC Maresma, Discmania, Innova Europe putting on a spectacular event again. The players are out here to support such an awesome, awesome tournament. And it wouldn't be nothing without the theories and the vision of one man, UC Maresma.
And Paul lays up to take the ceremonial last putt that will grant him his 3rd major of the year, 3 for 3, perfect, even with the hurt back. McBeast pulls it off, and KJ Nybo lining up his shot for birdie. A little high, but hits the flag. He'll sit right there. Still going to smile.
Yeah, he had a little wind gust at the end. It seemed like kind of drove him up a little bit. Here's Ricky for birdie.
Ricky gets his birdie. What a competitor. What an absolute competitor. And he will end up 1 shy of Paul McBeth. You can't say enough good things about Wysocki. He charged. He hit putts when he had to hit. He just missed the island a couple times, something that haunted him yesterday as he was trying to seek sole possession of 2nd place. And the moment we've all been waiting for, the moment all these people have been waiting for all weekend, your European Open 2015 champion is none other than Paul McBeth.
Outstanding play all week. He started on fire, 12 down, 10 down, and just played consistent all the way through. He hit the shots and the putts he needed to win this tournament. And it just stoked for the sport and the tournament to see him as a champion again.
And I'm wondering, what can anybody do to beat this guy? I mean, what can anybody do to dethrone him from the top of the disc golf world right now? He's playing with a hurt back, and he still manages to take down a major from 3 and 4 with Jeremy Colling. Very talented players who have all the pieces and absolutely deserve to win a major by the way they played this weekend.
As you can see, though, it's Wysocki always pushing him, always being there in the end. Within a stroke or 2, it's always them battling it out over the last 2 years. And even last year at Worlds in Portland, it came down to a 5-hole playoff. Ricky, McBeth winning by a stroke in sudden death. And again, wins by 1 stroke.
Paul McBeth, congratulations, your 2nd European Open victory.
Thank you. Feels good.
You said going into the round that you just got, and despite everything, you did it.
It feels good. I got so much adrenaline pumping right now. I don't really feel it, so I know tomorrow I will. But yeah, I'm just happy right now, and I'm satisfied with how I played.
And what a final! Ricky Wysocki caught up with you all the way to the tie on the 16th. But then, how did you feel on the 16th?
Well, I mean, going into 15, he tied me on 14, and I knew the last 4 holes. They've been a struggle for me. But I knew if I could play him well, I'd have a chance for the win. And then, he had unfortunate breaks on 15, and that gave me the room to come in here safely.
So were you able to relax at that point, or was it just the last putt?
The last putt, yeah. Even the drive on 17 was kind of scary, as well as the drive on 18 and upshot on 18. So not until that last putt fell was I relieved.
The best rated player in the world, and you've been dominating the course, but it wasn't quite that easy this time around, wasn't it?
No, I played great the first 2 days, and then the weather kind of got to me the third day, and then slipping and hurting myself a little bit kind of affected my play, mostly my drives. The putts were really good yesterday. Today they were a little shaky, but I was more worried about getting off the tee more than anything. So hopefully I can rest up before Worlds. I mean, that's the next tournament I got.
Talk about the fans here. Let me just ask you, how many autographs have you given this week?
Oh, I don't even know. Probably close to 1,000 now, and there's over a few thousand people here right now, so I can expect that to nearly double.
Wow, and there are so many aspiring disc golfers, especially in Finland, but countries as well. What do you want to say to those young players who one day want to throw like Paul Macbeth?
Just keep it up. I mean, my caddy right here, Jonas, he was the one that talked me in, what to do on the last 2 holes. So mature for a 14-year-old and knew what to do, in a situation that he's never been in, I'm sure. But, they're really smart out here, and, they're not going to have a problem with that mental side and learning what to do. So just keep playing, keep working on your skills, and, that mental game is key.
Congratulations, Jonas, as well as Paul Macbeth once more. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, where, in your opinion, does this rank in Paul Macbeth's victories? He has a storied career at, if he's even hit 25, I'm not sure yet, but where does this rank?
I would say the European Open title for the second consecutive win here, I think it falls right below his World Championship wins. Both being majors, Worlds is always that big grandiose title, but being a European champion, European Open champion, what he's done back-to-back, and not even to mention what he's done for the Team USA in back-to-back Presidents Cups. He's played outstanding in both those to take him to victory, and how he holds and manages the McBeast, handles the beast in Nokia, Finland.
It really is. I think aside from his 7-stroke comeback over Ricky Wasaki at Worlds, like we said, it's always Ricky Wasaki that's right there with him. I'd put this in his top 3, playing injured, having put down 2 really great rounds in the beginning, and just really trying to bring it home, and that takes everything within you. What a fantastic weekend. What a great course. What a great tournament. You can't say too much about the experience this whole weekend.
Mitkä on omat fiilikset?
Yeah, fight through adversity with an injury. He shot 12 down, 10 down, and 22 down after 2 rounds.
Kierros alkoi aivan mahtavasti, 4 birdiä putkeen ja siitäkin eteenpäin vielä. Miten kuvailisit kokonaisuutena tätä sun viimeistä finaalikierrosta?
Oli aika jännittynyt. Mä aloitin tosi hyvin 4 birdiä, sitten tuli baari, sitten tuli taas 2 birdiä. Sen jälkeen mä otin 3 bogia, että mä vaan selkeästi herpaantui, mä pääsin sen jälkeen takas heti
great
mukaan.
tournament. You played well yourself, netting another. Let's look at the final standings to confirm that Avery here's got a top 15 finish. He does. He finishes tied for 14th. Great tournament, buddy. Thanks for being here with me in the booth. Thank you guys all around the world for watching the simulcast and for all the support that you've given to Spin TV. We hope to bring productions like this and even bigger and better into the future. This is where the sport can go, and I feel so blessed to be a part of it. And I hope you guys will continue to tune in, continue to support.
Mikä on sun ammattimaisen harjoittelun suunnitelma siihen 2 vuoden päähän?
Tehdä pelkästään frisbeegolfia. Heittää ihan älyttömästi.
So he's Avery Jenkins, I'm Jamie Thomas. This has been the European Open 2015 English simulcast courtesy of YLE Arena. See you guys at Worlds.
Se on ihan vähän vielä vaiheessa, tai ei ihan tarkkaan tiedä, tuleeko näin tapahtuu, mutta tää on mun haave ja sitä mä nyt lähden toteuttamaan.
Mikä on seuraava pelillinen tavoite tällä kaudella?
MM-kisoihin mä lähden nyt 24. päivä, eli onko se sitten parin päivän päästä, niin se on sitten seuraava tavoite ja se on ainut, mikä mulla puuttuu, että sitä lähdetään tavoittelemaan.
Onnea matkaa sinne ja nimmarijono kasvaa tässä, niin päästetään nimmari käsi taas vauhtiin. Oikein paljon onnea vielä.
Joo, kiitos.
Ricky Wysocki, what a final round. How do you feel second?
Yeah, I mean, you know, with Paul Macbeth, it's always a battle. He's a great player, and you know, after my first round, I think he had me by like 4 or 5 strokes. So for me, it was just always a battle back the whole tournament. You know, I dropped to 7th place and then back up to 2nd place after going into today, and you know, so today it was always a battle trying to catch him. You know, at one point we were tied coming into 16, and you know, I had a bad break on the island hole 16, and I skipped out of the island. But you know, it was a great battle, and you know, I think we put on a good show for all these fans.
What was going through your head on the 16?
Well, he went first, and he parked the island hole right on the green, and you know, about 10-15 feet from the basket. I knew I had to try and match him, and I happened to I threw my shot a little bit long. I was a little pumped up, you know, this heat of the moment with everything going on. You know, I was just a little bit too pumped up, and that's what in the end was what cost me. So, but it was a great battle, and definitely we'll always remember that.
Congrats once more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky.
So, top 3 players, both divisions, and I have you by the stage. Can I have Sarah Holcomb by the stage? Sarah Holcomb.
Sarjassa jaetaan palkintoja. Miehet saavat omat palkintonsa ihan kohta. On aika päättää tämä lähetys täältä Nokialta European Openista. Sirkus palaa tänne jälleen 2 vuoden päästä, mutta sitä ennen muun muassa frisbeegolfin Euroopan mestaruuskilpailut ensi vuonna Oulussa. Oikein paljon kiitoksia seurasta. Mikä jännittävä päivä. Tähän on hyvä lopettaa. Moi moi!